It's the news. It is. And there's a lot of stuff that has gone down, especially when it comes to this new update that we've had in the game. A lot of people have reported extensive problems, and we'll cover that in a moment, but let's get some legitimate kind of mediocre stories out of the way. Our first story is something that I've covered with a previous video, in that we are getting the uncollected arena and uncollected free crystals. These are fantastic additions to the game. Not quite sure about the uncollected crystal. I think what we'll do is when the uncollected arena comes in and the kind of arena crystal we get from that, I'll have to really inspect and see, you know, what's it like for 10,000 battle chips. Man, this is an entry into a tier 4 basic arena, so people are really gonna have to box clever with regards to their spend. The same thing can be with the amount of kind of battle chips we are required to put in alliances in order to make headway with regards to getting in either map 5, map 6. And that's really the kind of the main thing, like, will people really want to take up the extensive kind of spend that's associated with uncollected crystals? But uncollected free daily crystals are brilliant. They're absolutely fantastic, and I'm really happy to see them within the game. The chances of getting a 4-star are kind of are really easy, so that means obviously it could be a case that you could get, if you're really lucky, extensive amounts of 275 of those 5-star shards. So, you know, these are positive kind of influences moving forward. And the chances with the uncollected arena and the kind of battle chip crystal that you can get from that, chance to get a 5-star Punisher. People have been asking for it, and I think now that this is the time that it's going to be happening. So there's a lot of kind of cool things happening with being uncollected. Our second story is all about Marvel Insider. Finally, we've got something back for this. So for the Sinister Foes, we've got a beginner, normal and heroic for earning points. Please be warned that this time around the points are actually going to be distributed after the point that there is the reward being dished out. So you won't be able to use the points to get the reward. So if you're really relying on those points from that beginner, normal and heroic, you're not going to be able to get them till after the point. So you're really going to have to kind of home in on grinding those activities that are kind of like Inhumans, Defenders currently, and getting the daily stuff with regards to activities and grinding out the points in order to get there. It's just disappointing this time around, but I think Marvel Insider learned that people were just going like, look, where's our points, where's our points, where's our points? And what they've done now is they've put in an end time, as opposed to what they did before, where they said between the certain points of A and B, you'll be getting those points. Instead, now what they've done is they've put in that it will be by a certain date, as opposed to, like I said, between date A and date B. And if you're looking for a helpful video to get a Marvel Insider account, I've linked in down below a video that I've made about this, so hopefully this will help you out in getting those grinds of points and get that 3-star Green Goblin, which we all do want to get. And even better, because we get 254-star shards have been added in. Can't say fairer than that. That's brilliant. Our next story, and kind of a linking into the final story, is that there's been a lot of game outages that have just happened as a result. Version 14.1 has been, well, I don't really know how to describe this best. So a lot of people within this news thread, which I'm putting into the description, is well worth a read, because there's things with regards to parry not working, evading not working well. And I've been trying to make some videos today where I found that parry hasn't been as effective, the AI hasn't been kind of performing in the same way that it should do. It's not, it becomes a bit kind of unsuspecting, that things that with regards to evades, hard evades don't seem to be as effective anymore. And even the parries, like I said, parries are not, you know, they're not hitting in as effectively as possible when it looks like those would be parries. Things just seem very, very peculiar. And people are saying, threads saying, do not update to version 14.0. There's loads of different ones where people are just kind of identifying problems. Someone was identifying a problem with an iOS 7 Plus, which is what not iOS 7 Plus, but using a Apple iPhone 7 Plus, which I use myself. And I have found an extensive amount of issues, especially today. It's got worse as the days have gone on. And it really kind of points to the question, like, what had really been changed? Certain characters have not been changed as well, and in particular I was disappointed not to see Daredevil not changed, and that was something that was promised in previous updates, that the whiffing side of things would go, but you know, it's disappointing not to see it. changed because it was promised. And you know, you kind of think, well, what has been upheld with regards to bargaining? What's happening over the summer period? Is the developers going away on holiday? Also, what is the level of focus when it comes to things like Forged to Fight? Transformers Forged to Fight has been pushed massively with regards to adverts, especially on YouTube. So what is the focus point? Is Marvel Contest of Champions not getting that level of detail and focus as it did, when it should be under the magnifying glass each time with regards to making the game smooth as possible? And a lot of people are reporting different issues as well. Some people are saying that their loading time is increased as well, which is a bit disappointing, because a lot of what Kabam were trying to do with Marvel Contest of Champions is reduce down that time, especially over Android devices. And that's one of the key reasons that I switched over to using an iPhone, because I needed that loading time to improve in order to do kind of more difficult content. And there is a significant difference between using something like an Android device that's maybe about 2016 or kind of before, and using something that's an iPhone which is being released within a year of this point now. And this is the point where I throw this question over to you. Since the update, have you felt that the game has improved, or have we still got more issues, or things have seemed worse than they were prior to the update? Love to hear your thoughts and start the dialogue. Any of the links, obviously, that there's forum kind of posts and threads, you should really kind of go on and kind of air your concerns, because Kabam really need to see this if there is a kind of consensus that the game has not been implemented well for 14.0. So thanks very much for watching this video. I've had a few kind of tech problems where I've had to kind of completely strip down my OBS because the file's corrupted, so I've had to rebuild everything. So there has been a little bit of a flicker above my head, which I am trying to work on, but it is causing a lot of issues with getting content made and out. But anyway, all the kind of the bullshit aside, thanks very much for giving support to this channel as well as the MCOC news. Make sure that you put your notifications on so you see these news things come up, and give them a watch. You know, it's great you supporting the channel. So follow me on social media, links in the description, and I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye bye for now.